Yeah. Pretty easy.
I'd be happy with that, right? All the days.
I mean, I wouldn't complain. But you do see here round one going to be dropping down on Miramar any moment now. For those of you guys sitting out there in the chat, there might be some supporters from each one or other team, so do feel free to spam some logos, spam some love in the chat, because we have the plane in the sky, James, and we're ready with game number one.
Oh, yes, and you can see it already. There you go. We have a look, and this is actually quite nice. This is a good spot already, and this is going to benefit the likes of Lingan and AHQ, if anything to go by on what we looked at on positions that they usually drop into.
Only issue with this area of the map being the first circle. I mean, again, this circle one, there's plenty of space, but you know how Miramar works with your vehicles. You do not want to be stuck on those roads, because people will be waiting on the sides of them, and they will take you out, especially in a point, like kill point heavy system, where yeah, free kills are like the best kills, and don't get a freer kill than a guy in a vehicle, right? But you see here, players dropping out all over the place. Surprisingly high amount of people waiting until late. There are a lot of people going up north there. There are both Elazahar and other areas up in the northern side there to loot, but that's a lot of congestion of players going up north.
Is this already a point where we throw away the
Are people going out on the... Oh my god, I've never seen this in competitive... Oh, I think he turned around. I was like, are they actually going to loot the islands on the east coast? Entus Force, is that you? But no, I don't think that's actually where they opted to go.
Well, already into its 16 teams, all ready to go battling and out head-to-head here. And for me, this is just such a stacked drop already. This is more than I expected. You showed us the research, right, Toby? You were saying we expect 3-4 teams maybe here. We're looking at a lot more than that. So we can see some early fights going down, and this is very interesting.
And the good thing about this is game number one. This is where you set your mark. If you want to have a spot for yourself, drop into that area with the opponents, hope for yourself that you can get it, and then take the fight. You see the guys in SSS right here up against the freaking freaks, and that's the first point of the tournament. Alongside YDD, he gets himself a kill onto Hawk.
Brilliant start from them. He jumps in, willing to take the fight. He was all alone as well at the beginning. Manages to get himself the opener here, and that's straight away the points you want to be able to see. 2 players down early on.
Yep, you see Roa taken down really early on, and now the rest of the Freaks guys, they have to sort of reconsider. Okay, so we know that we have SSS all around us. We might just want to get out of here. Can we do that? Okay, we don't have any vehicles. Wait, we don't have any weapons to fight if we need to do that. And Rosa are now stuck in the little shack here. Not the kind of position we want to be forced into in game number one.
Yeah, Rosa's really like just pincered in between 2 players here as well.
Yeah.
No matter which way he goes, he's going to have a difficult fight on his hand. It looks like he might try to get some backup from his team here to give him a little bit of help, and he certainly is going to need it.
And as much as you say it's amazing to get those free kills early on, it's also, if you don't have the equipment needed to take that fight, that's like the worst scenario you can ever be. And now you do see the rest of the guys from the Freak Facials making their way up here, trying to come up, as you said yourself, do the cavalry roll-up, and hopefully be able to do something to help his teammate out. They do have an AK, do have a Vector in play as well, so a little bit of weaponry, but the guys in the Super Squad, they are not afraid to take a fight.
Oh, he's got the position as well. He can see what's going on. So he'll be able to call this information in, right? Be able to give the plays over and say, look, a Freaker are coming. But this is the problem. It's 2 versus 3 in this situation. So he needs to be able to snipe a couple down.
And like you actually see Kongmu running out of the compound initially. Now he is coming back up. And for NP, might just be a bit too overly aggressive here. He does get spot out. Headshots coming in on towards him as well. And he goes down. He's all by himself, made the push up, but his teammates backed off on the other side. That's clear miscommunication.
Yeah, that is the big problem here, right? That's what we were kind of worrying about. It's all good where Rosa was sat, he was all alone, but they weren't able to get him. The cavalry comes in, he gets some backup from his teammates, and this allows a Freaker to take a lot of control here.
Yeah, they backed off. They wanted to get around. They wanted to do the contain rather than engage, and just pushed up a bit too far, and it cost him. And in the SCAT, we talked about him coming into the tournament here, had such a stellar performance in Berlin this summer. Now, will he be able to, on behalf of the OP Rangers, maybe repeat such insane performances here in the PUBG Invitational? We'll have to wait and see.
So Freaker now, they're in a good spot. They know there's one more player around here, and the question is, will he be able to get away, or will they go in for the hunt down? Like we said, we expected this aggression to come out early on, and that's exactly what's being seen here. There's 17, a team that we certainly want to keep our eyes on here. Starting to gain some ground, starting to push a little bit further forward here. Good scouting mission. They're all together, which is going to work out quite nicely for him. And having 2 vehicles early on, we give him a lot more maneuverability here.
And this right here, it's just, I mean, even though they might get points, they might get kills off of this, they're stalling each other for potentially no reason. They're all on the edge of the circle. Odds are with the next circle shift, they will be going out on the very far edge of it. And not only that, but they're also limiting their looting opportunities. They won't get the utility needed. We know the Miramar is an insanely open map, and if you do get those end games in the fields, in and around open areas, you need X amount of smokes, you need X amount of nades to really make room for yourself if you don't have any hard cover available. So you need more time to loot, I would say, technically, than on Erankle. And them stalling each other in this compound just makes it extremely tough to, well, get any of that going.
Now, Toby, we spoke about it before the game got underway, right, about how difficult it is with this point system. Me and you would have preferred maybe top 8 getting a little bit more points in there, but this has already shown that the aggressions come out. And AHQ, the team that we were talking about, the team that went for the quadruple back-to-backs, right? They were just managing to go insane on it.
Yeah.
They're in it, they're together, and they're going to be playing. They played it pretty standard, though, right? They went the same drop as per usual. It's just there's more teams around them now than probably they would have expected.
Yeah, they'll take the southern side of Las Leones, and then they'll go. I mean, they swooped up around on the east coast. Pretty smart way to play. You know you have to ward on the outside if you don't have anything in your back. That's like the worst thing that can happen to you in PUBG, really, is if you get, well, backstabbed and you're not prepared for it, right? So they'll play with a warder on the back, no opponents down there. And now we do see that the Super Survivor guys are making their run off here. Smart play for them, trying to get out. And also from Hacienda, now Actus Red, the other guys from Korea will start making their push in towards the circle.
Yeah, and Actos, that team, right, that came in final time, the only team to make it at the finals, that one spot that was up for grabs, but they weren't anywhere close during the normal regular season in there. And already you can see it, look, everyone's position already so tight. We see it's actually been such a different style of play already early on, and this is where we do throw those notes away.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but still, it's kind of what we're used to, right? We see sometimes people accidentally, they just land on top of each other. They take those fights. Now that fight with Super Squad and the guys down there in that compound stalled for a little long, but look at this Airwolf. They're cut off. Eagle-Eye trying to see if he can spot Shocks. Does get spotted, but there are 3 guys against 1. He needs a lot of help, and that help is not coming in. Down he goes.
Yeah, that was a little bit too much of a Lone Ranger play. Walks into 3 of them, and they can easily surround him. So no problem there for 17 at all, and that already puts us with 4 players out of the equation.
Yeah, and the best fights you can take are, well, of course, fights that you win, but also fights where you don't take any casualties. Yeah. Having those 4 guys alive coming into the late stages of the game is so key. I mean, if you can do a percentage of how many teams win with 4 guys alive coming into Circle 5, Circle 6, you'd see that percentage being extremely high. So really, really important to have those numbers up in your favor. Mental trying to take some long-range shots, but Hank doing the exact same thing. Shooting down towards the guys in Crest. Japanese, they're running around in the open, trying to find some cover. And he actually gets the knock on him, too. What a great shot with the Mini 14.
Yeah, great work there. Good positioning up high. Able to get a knock to start off with. Is he going to be able to finish him off? They're now desperately looking for some more cover here, and they're going to try play around it. Now, at least the difference is here, they've got some cover for them to kind of hide within. But already, as soon as they start moving, they're just taking further damage here. Yeah. LG on top of it.
Now, fortunately, we did see the circle shift south, so they will be in. But, of course, Las Leones playing a huge factor in this circle. We know that teams like to, well, avoid cities in the mid to late stages of the game, which makes sense because you don't want to be forced into an area where you cannot get out of. I mean, there's a lot to it, and we can go in depth with that in a later stage. But Las Leones being such a big part here, for so many teams on the northern side, where do they go? Because either it's the open field north of Las Leones, it's into Las Leones, or it's trying to swoop all the way around, and people will be there, and Digo now in on the action too.
Yeah, very nice. Manages to spot out a couple of the Rangers players, gets the first knock straight into a kill. And now he's actually going to push Rangers away for now. The question is, do they realize that he's on his own at the moment? He's only got a little bit of backup around him. The other rest of the team are closer. So Rangers could go in here for the kills and try to finish him off if they wanted to.
Very much could try and re-engage on this one. You do have a little bit of backup coming in. Entus Force and Rangers, all players coming out of Korea. And looks like they're actually going to back off. They know what they're up against. They're like, well, maybe we should wait with this fight until later. We know these guys are pretty darn good at shooting. So maybe, just maybe, we'll play it south. Now Jaden and Rose are finally, the guys from Afrika Reeks catch a bit of open ground. And they'll be able to get some loot going. But the circle's already closing in.
And Actos, right, the team we were talking about, the other team from Korea. 4th place throughout the qualifying, but they managed to take their finals in 1st place. Really strong performance. None of the other teams from the actual regular season came close to them other than OP Gaming. And this now, I'm just excited to see what they can deliver, right? Because you had a kind of lackluster regional season. You had an epic play in the finals. What can you bring now when the pressure's really on when you've made it here?
For sure. I mean, this just adds a whole new level of pressure that even though they've had, I mean, they've all had, oh my god, this season is important. Oh my god, this final is important. Now they're here. This is the creme de la creme. It's the top of the tiers. This is, I mean, the team that comes out on top in this tournament is going to be crowned the best team in Asia. That's just insane.
And that's something you certainly want to be able to fly your flag with, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Put your mark on the map, so to speak, and
you might get an endorsement deal or two out of it too.
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah.
Who knows?
No doubt at all, especially with how popular PUBG continues to get and grow. As we're just watching everyone start to continue to maneuver around, right? We're taking the kind of little bit of the lull in it. Everyone trying to scope out positions.
Just playing it slow, playing it easy. It's still Circle 2. You can tank that first bit of damage. You can use the first aid, use a booster. But of course, I mean, they will come in handy later. You don't want to burn through too many meds. But can you not get a position? This is where you can stay outside, scout further forward, and make those safe rotations. You see, Los Leones is such a huge city, just a big part of the circle. And nobody wants to get in there.
A few shots being rattled off. Trying to apply the pressure, managing to get a few shots connect. There's some nice damage being done. He's making it work. He's got to be careful.
And important damage coming in here too, because they're not expecting to get knocks and kills off of this. They could knock a guy in a window. He will get rest by his teammates, but that's going to be a helmet gone. That's going to be a vest gone. That can give you the advantage should these two guys be forced into a fight later. Now the new circle does pop, and it seems like since we cannot see it on the minimap, that either we're hard shifted away from that area or we are right on top of it. Of course, the games here are being brought to you by the amazing production team of VSPN out in Macau. So we'll just have the honor of sitting in Romania and restreaming it all to you.
Oh, yes. Hey, I'm not complaining either.
Not at all, not at all, not at all.
As lovely as it would be to be over there, we're still getting to see the action go down, and that's what it's all about. Now the spread.
Yeah, Crest Gaming actually, despite the fact that they had the circle, or they had a little unlucky situation there with them being knocked and all, they get the circle right on top of them. They couldn't be more happy with that.
Yeah, this gives them some time to recuperate a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And you saw from Afrika, right, they had a good position there. No one's really that close to them. They can push them without too much of a problem. They just got to be careful about more of the long-range fights going on here. As you can see some of the Rangers players. They're going to at least keep Actors at bay for now, but Actors, they've stayed in the vehicles. They continue to move around. They want to find their sweet spot that they're most comfortable in.
Yeah, they want to try that hole to sort of pin their way inside, get a more centered position in the circle, because we are hitting that point at which if you stay on the edge for too long, it will get more clustered. It's simply how it is. If you cannot get a center position, you're in for a rough on Airwolf doing what you're not supposed to do, running your teammates over. Fortunately, it looks like they're in a position where they can get the rest back up. So, yep, there you go. Just Godly saying, sorry, buddy. Let me just get you back up. Maybe I'll give him a first aid as an. Like, please don't shoot me back. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. But of course, I mean that could be another thing, right? Pressure, a lot of things going into it. But RRQ now being pushed upon by the guys in 17 Gaming. They need to get down this hill, but how are they planning on doing it?
Yeah, 17 being cautious, though, and rightly so. They're very much out in the open. They don't have the same kind of building cover that RRQ have here. But if they could get in this engagement.
Also, if they can get around, right? That's probably what they're looking to do. They want to see which buildings do we have opponents in. Trying to lay out, get a better idea of the layout. Where are the opponents? And then once they know, like once they have confirmation on all 4 positions, they can play with that info. They're a team that will take their time to scout forward and then make a move. And more often than not, they make the smart move. That's the reason they're here, right? That's a long-range tapping coming in from YDD right there.
Did manage to connect a couple of shots there, but not too much else being done. But like you said, all of these little shots, they play into this massively here. It's every little bit that counts. Afrika in a really nice spot there. Starlord just runs straight past him. He's completely on his own as well. His team are close by, but not close enough to save him. He gets killed off there early on, and that's given Afrika basically a free kill.
There you go. A free kill. Oh, that was a little far-fetched, but I see what you were going for there. I see what you're going for. Purple Mood up on the top, trying to take some shots down towards the guys in Armory Gaming. Their colors can be a little misleading, but Purple Mood just a little purpler than the other guys. Rangers now. Babo getting the knock onto one of the guys from Monster Shield. Good shots connected there. M24 now on the ground. That's not what you want to have happen. You want to have that guy up so you can get the knock, allow you to push forward, because as you can see, they're far on the edge and they need to move in towards these guys from OP.
Babo, he's been doing so much work, right? Got that 4 times on, playing the distance game. He's just a little bit further forward than the rest of his team. He's got a vehicle with him as well. Just able to do that extra bits of damage. 58 still alive, though, as we get closer towards the 15 minutes here on Miramar.
And you see this, we're getting more and more. Oh, my lord.
What a change.
I mean, this is good and bad. It's good because we don't go into the city. I personally hate city endings. I know there are some casters that love them, going with the worse it is for the player, the more funny it is for the viewer, right? But
yes,
I mean, they can be entertaining. It's just you don't see the best, like you don't see the best of the players shine through. But with this Eastern shift, all the compounds, if not already, you see Enter's Force slamming it into this compound here. If not taken already, there will be in a short while. And with 58 people alive coming into Circle 5, we know that, I mean, if we don't get those few players eliminated early on, the cluster, the chaos will only be that much bigger. And believe me, it's going to be. Now LGE up and close to Ensis.
Yeah, Ensis in a nice spot. Like you said, they've managed to grab themselves that bit of the advantage. See LGE starting to push their way in. Oh, Timon's seen him. Can he get the shots off? Managing to try and make it connect. He's going to push Enter's back. Damage being done forces him to prone straight into it. He's going to try and give some return fire.
Has the nade in hand. It comes in as well. Timon throws it on. Sion does manage to stay put. And now at least they have the info. But there are only 3 guys here. Only actually, are they all 4 here? I can't really... I think there are only 3 other players here. Not quite sure where the last player would be if not here. And you see the Psyker coming in now as well. Not a weapon we see used a lot in competitive play. But in these up-close fights, that shotgun could be your saving grace.
Timon having to pop those painkillers. He's trying to keep himself hidden off at least for
they're
now.
all 4. They're all 4 in there, okay.
Yeah, Ensis are all together.
And I like the way that they play this. They keep one guy with the high ground position up on top to get the better angle and give the info to his teammates, while all the other 3 kind of do the reconnaissance on the ground. Now YDD and when the guys from L-Star Luminous start trying to see if they can get themselves a compound too. This is what we're talking about. We're reaching a point now where you have to go for these fights to secure yourself an area of the map.
Yeah, because if you don't have that position, you're going to get caught out in the open and you'll be going down sooner rather than later. And that's certainly not what you want to see take place, as we've already hit phase 4. Now, Timon, he really wants to push into it.
Like, you can just tell.
He knew how close
Come on,
he
boys,
was
I'm ready,
before.
I'm ready, I'm ready. Like the dog just waiting to be unleashed and then just goes in. But nope, not happening right now. Dai trying to see if he can get into safe position. Does have the medkit and first aids to work with. He should be able to get back up to full health. But this fight just waiting to pop off. Eska now spotting the guys from LGE up in the hills as well. Now the push is coming in here. Luminous Stars, they've managed to push in on SSS. They're pretty close here.
L-Stars trying to make it happen. You've got Easy in the back lines, giving them the backup. L-Stars getting a good amount of kills on the board here. This leaves LSN all alone. 3v1. L-Stars going to go in. YDD trying to get that heal off. We'll be able to make it happen.
YDD and Wen just playing that to perfection, going 2 guys together, pushing the building, knowing exactly where to peek, got 3 knocks, and now it's all up to LSN to pull this off by himself. Molotov comes in. For those of you guys who are a bit confused by the colors, we do have the Korea ratings on, so all red deadly blood is green here. It's not just like a big, what was that guy from Tekken? You know, like the doctor that could take a burp on you, so it's like big green piles.
Yes, he's the one that like created Ogre or whatever, yes.
But there you go, SSS will be the first team to go down in the game. We'll hope for them they can make up for it coming into the next ones, but now more fights are just about to escalate as Purple Mood starts the fight with RQ, and LGE gets in on the action as well. Look at this position from Timon. He has all kinds of angles on towards these guys from Purple Mood. They're completely out in the open, and they're getting annihilated, but so is Rex. They're going down in, I believe, 15th place. Timon, though, still taking a lot of shots up towards Purple, and one more guy just gone down.
Wow, Timon in such a good position. They all just run straight in front of him, managing to pick off 2 players there. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting. We're down to 14 teams already, 3 kills up on LGE at the moment. Timon's done all that work, solo plays, but it's the team game that it's all about.
For sure. And that's the power of the SKS. You see it right there. It's so darning. I mean, especially if you get that vest burned off, it's 1 or 2 hits to the chest, and you are down for. So not a whole lot more to that. Pubu does go down 1 meter. Managed to get himself a good knock with the Mini 14. We've seen a lot of shots fired with the DMRs today. Oh, that's a good upper chest shot to cover.
Yeah, solid damage being done. And as we saw the circle move again there, Enter's still in a really good spot. AG looking to do further damage here, and they just can't seem to really challenge him here at this point.
And this is one of the reasons that you see DMRs being used more often than bolt actions, in at least in squad games. Because in solo games, hit that headshot, boom, it's a guy out. You can just play your game here. If you miss that shot with the Kar 98 or the M24 for that sake, it's just not forgiving in the same way with the Mini, with the SLR, with any of the DMRs. You can just keep tapping away.
You get a little bit more of a play with it.
So if you want to play with that, with the bolt action snipers, you have to really be on point with your aiming. Unfortunately, a few shots missed there, but RDK just on the other side of the road has all the info, just not able to make the push. And he doesn't need to. Look at the precision. I mean, the circle is closing in, and they're just waiting for them to push over.
Arrow in a good position again. We see that it's AHQ, the team we kept talking about. Find themselves in there. 2 players managing to get knocked down there.
They're making the run for it. I mean, they're playing the edge. They're clean sweeping, and that's what we've seen them do so well. They're an aggressive team, and if they get the chance to take these fights, they will. Now, Nini on the backside of these smokes could potentially be a threat coming in later, because I don't think any of these guys from AHQ spotted them. Jaden going down as well from Airwolf.
Yeah, Nini's just super sneaking in. May have to get his move on, and that's exactly what he does. He jumps up as well to try and push a little bit further
forward. Just on each side of the
forward.
circle, you see the solos crawling forward, crawling forward.
And this is what's so unforgiving in this, right? They have to try and stay alive, but a freak of freaks, they will go down as YDD continues to put numbers up on that board for his team. Total of 5 kills for L-Stars now. And this is a good start as they've made it into the top 13, but it's about getting it into those points as well. 17, though, looking to push on to Rangers here.
He's all by himself, pushing down in the open. Libero actually goes down, gets finished off as well. Sog makes sure of that. Shu pushing up all by himself. Doesn't have his team here to help him just yet, but he does manage to get down Eska. Will try and go for the flush. Now there's only one person left, but that's going to be Sog with a nice shot coming in return.
Really good defense there from Rangers, but they've still got to be careful. Shots are coming in. The rest of 17 are coming into play, but Show, he walks straight into it, and 17 is eliminated. Rangers holding strong.
Great plays coming in. Entus helping out a little there in the end of things, but really, really good job to take out one of the top teams coming into the tournament here in 11th place.
YDD.
I wonder if he knows that Juanita is in that building. I wonder.
He's got to have a good idea. He's got to have a good idea.
Maybe.
He's looking and he's like, come on, just come out. I want this extra kill.
Can I get? It's like where you go to the wall and you start knifing the wall. Can we just knife this one, boys? I don't feel like taking this fight. Yeah. He's not in a good spot there whatsoever. The guys from HQ, they have a very, very good indication that people are down and around there as well. They do have Danchi inside the circle already, so that's a little helpful, but as you can see as well, OP Gaming, they're just not in a position to do anything. They have to cross out in the open, and this is where those smokes, where those nades will come in extremely handy.
Now, CJ Entus are actually just off map there. They were playing the zone very well. It was going in their favor. This time around, they're going to have to move out of the compound that they secured, but they made the right choice. They managed to stay there for 2 phases throughout. As we reach the 6th phase, AHQ starting to push up. A lot of damage being done here, and that is not ideal. Actor's going to go in to finish him off. Wow. Lots of kills coming into play there right at the last moments.
We talked about needing a little help. Juanita does actually manage to get down both of them. Now, AG, our Armory Gaming, taking a lot of fire as well. And all of a sudden, from being 4 guys up and alive and really, really in a good position, HQ has just thrown it down and play it safe now.
And this is what happens, right? They were very much out in the open. He was able to play off having that little bit of cover, manages to make it work. He also had some shots raining in on them from the other side, so he had a good position.
And one thing that's big here, when you see all these team fights happening, more often than not, you will see not just the 2 teams fighting, but you will see knocks and kills taken from teams that aren't even part of that fight. The third-party aspect of things is such a huge factor here. And now we see one more fight, LGE up against Entus.
Entus and LGE so close to each other, they're going to have to engage in this. LGE do have the high ground advantage, but that circle's going to close in pretty damn soon.
And circling around each other for a long time, the fight was inevitable. Nat Yak does go down. Circle, though, pushing on in. Ahan goes down as well. Dai is all by himself. Timon taking down Deloitte's people, once again active with the SKS.
Timon's been so pivotal in all of these engagements. Entus, they're trying to finish him off, but it's a bit of a back and forth as Rangers, they start to chime in as well. 7 teams left alive, and this is where it's going right down to the wire. The 2 heavy hitters, though, for LG are still alive. The ones that have been putting up the kills across the board. But now there's just 2 of them left.
HQ out in 7th place. They were doing so well coming up to this. But again, this point is no points in placement. But now it's all about Crest Gaming. They're pushing out of this one. They're getting picked apart as we talk about them too, though. Sun Sisters, they're just annihilating them. And they even said it on the screen.
No cover, no hope. They run out. They try to take the fights. They're like, yep, we can see some kills. But it's quickly over as they slowly get obliterated here. Arrow Wolf, though, still 3 alive in a good spot. L-Stars also got the cover they need, but Aerowolf managing to get the damage being done here. Still very much out in the open. He's going for the vehicle, explodes. Exactly what happens. And Crazy Sam, he's not going to be able to stomach that at all.
Not at all. It was a die or be killed situation for him. Could not get away from there, unfortunately. Now Senvi is just chilling all by himself. We have 5 teams remaining, and L-Star still being all 4 guys alive. They have a nice split off in one of their teammates, and Sanju up there on the southern side on the hills. And then Rangers somehow made it out alive from that compound on the edge, and now they're looking to have a long, long run in the open over towards the circle.
And Rangers was certainly that team where you're like, okay, look, Babo was doing pretty damn well, right? He was getting a few shots in there, but the rest of them is playing that kind of slow and steady style, having to play it around the circle. Now they're in top spot at the moment, fighting off against L-Stars, 3 alive on either side. Aerowolf, got to be careful, but it's for LGE with only 1 alive. He's just got to hope and pray that he can kind of keep this position for as long as possible, find himself some more cover, but he's got to be so cautious right now, and he's not exactly kind of in a position where he can actually duck around or hide off anyway. It's going to be relying on the prones.
I mean, if you're going to do a 1v3, you might as well have yourself an M249 kill his suit in level 3 gear. That's like, you will not get a better chance to win a 1v3. Now, they will nade the Shack smart that Sanji runs out of there. He knows they will push down here. They will take it. And look at how well orchestrated these guys from OP Rangers play this game.
But this is good, though. I really like this from LG. He's going to be able to kind of play the advantage here because he knows that grenade's heard. He knows what's going to be happening. He wants to take the first few shots. He wants to get the finish as well. It's exactly what he does, and they still aren't 100% sure where he is. Suck coming in to try and close this off. Sprays it out. Damage being done, and that will be LGE eliminated in 4th place. 3 teams remaining, L-Stars, Rangers, and Aerowolf.
Suck has 7 kills already. It's absolutely insane. They got pushed upon in the compound down there by 17 Gaming, and they just tore them apart. Really, really great job. YDD as well have done a really good job today. Ooh, RDK just down behind the Shack. Suck might just be able to get himself his 8th kill, and at least the knock coming in here. No res will be coming in later either.
Oh, Suck gets it as well. Brilliant work. He's still being pushed up on as well. Comes in with 10 kills. Absolutely huge. 9 for Suck. That's 10 for his team.
He's
but now
insane.
it's a 2v3. L-Stars going up against Rangers for this first round win.
I talked about Eska all the time being the fragger. Here we got Suck. 9 kills for him. Now, one guy does go down. That's going to be Babo. This is going to be 1 versus 3. I'm just going to say this again. Seeing what we've seen so far, there's a chance, but with them pushing up right now, it's going to be very, very difficult for Suck to win this one.
Yeah, L-Stars got pure confidence. They're all coming in together. Another kill come in. It's a rampage. Rangers all going to be taken out of this now. Not a single one. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And L-Stars take round 1.
And they played it extremely well, the Luminous Star guys. They had a good compound to play from initially, and then in the end of things, they pushed around, they got a good move on, and they took the fights they needed to. They had a few circles up towards that compound they sat on, but when they pushed out, they still had the utility. You saw all the nades coming in there in the end, and for Suck, he got the first knockdown, but just not a whole lot more you could do.
You've got to say, right, though, you've got to feel sorry for Rangers there, because where they kind of split up a little bit, I felt like they could have kept the 3 players left alive there and been in for it towards the end, because they really put themselves at a disadvantage, allowing one player to just kind of break off. He went in for the kill, got picked off, and then it really put them in a position where, well, we can't afford to challenge this right now.
I mean, the thing is, exactly, they got picked. This is where you say, oh, there's just a solo player remaining. The Snake there from LG can't do anything. Sure, he can win the game, but he sure can screw it over for all the other guys. The fact that Essay goes down, had it been a fair 3v3,